Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Ponick with the Mojave Valley Daily News. I have the editor-in-chief here, Mike Boyd, and we are going to be answering your questions. So this is our Q&A for Thursday, April 22nd. So we got a few things that we want to discuss, but we are taking your questions. So if it's something in the news, if it's something about mayhem, if it's something about, say, some sort of issue with vaccinations down at the field house, if it has something to do with what's going on with EPCOR, sports, our ACES awards, whatever it is, just ask and we will attempt to answer your questions.
We will hopefully have an answer, and if we don't have an answer, we will try to look into it for you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we'll look it up.
No fake news, John. No fake news.
So, so to get things started, I want to talk a little bit about EPCOR, what's been going on up there. Bill just rolled in. Apparently, everything has been turned over to the
judge.
To the judge there, Judge
Yes.
Gertler. Did Bill fill you on anything that's going on that we can expect to see in tomorrow's paper?
Bill said we're probably not going to see a verdict until next month. Apparently, the judge gave both sides 10 days in case they wanted to file any
Add some more
additional
stuff.
briefs.
Yeah.
So that'll take us up to about May 3rd. And after that, we can probably expect a decision.
Maybe Cinco de Mayo?
I don't know.
That would be a nice Cinco de Mayo gift to hear what's going on with that.
I could think of better Cinco de Mayo gifts, but if you think that's a good one, John, we'll go with that.
Well, this
Yeah.
is something that we've been dealing with for years now. So to see it finally come to fruition or to an end or whatever, if you're not familiar what the deal is, Lisa Atchison is asking how the weather. Lisa, the weather's beautiful. It's about 88 degrees. It's sunny. There's no W.
I just put the wind up. I give them the weather report real quick.
Did you really?
Yeah, it's up there for them.
Guys, you know.
Jeff,
I don't even know why I'm here.
There's your weather report right there. How's that?
But
Jeff could probably do the Q&A by himself, and he wouldn't even need us.
I don't know why
I don't
we're
think
here.
so.
It says 85 and southwest winds 5 to 15. I would say that's pretty accurate. It's very, very light winds, and it's sunny and beautiful. There's a weird roar in the community. I don't know. Did you hear that, Jeff, when you were cruising around?
Boom, boom.
Yeah. Don't you have a sound effect?
No, I don't have my sound effects ready. Sorry, I didn't know we were going to pull that out of the hat.
You know, we've got our Mayhem main event, and it is perfect here for it. The motorcyclists are rolling in from all around the country. We've seen posts from people coming from South Carolina and obviously Northern California and all kinds of places. So it's perfect weather for it. I'm sorry that it snowed there yesterday in southern Indiana. We haven't seen snow in...
It snowed a little bit not too long ago, actually. We had a little bit of snow.
Yeah,
in the mountains over here.
Oh, I'm
not here.
I'm not counting that. In Bullhead City. We did get snow in Bullhead like 3 or 4 years ago on New Year's Day,
It did.
right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so...
And probably we should remind everybody, with all the bikers on the road, please keep an eye out for them and drive
Yes.
safely and know that they're out there so that everybody can get back home and stay safe this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. You may not hear them. I know my first bike here, I had a big 1300, and it had stock exhaust on it and was so quiet that I would routinely have people just pulling into my lane, and I'm right there. So you may not hear them. You for sure probably will not see them. So just keep an eye out for them when you're here. So getting back to EPCOR, this was a few years ago when we started looking at the rates that were just climbing and climbing and climbing. To kind of make a long story short, they had the city decided that they wanted to put it on the ballot. They had a lot of uprising from the community asking it to get on the ballot. It got on the ballot. The people voted for condemnation and that the city would take it over. It went up to through the channels. Now where it's at is it's on Judge Gertler's desk to determine a fair value for it. There are two camps in this. Obviously, the city is trying to get it for as cheap as possible. Their people have said that its value is somewhere between $40 2 and 62 million. They landed on 55 million. Although we have a bond approval up to 130 million. EPCOR is saying it's worth 136 million. So they've had experts from both sides. Really, the city, I don't know how familiar you are with it, but the city only brought in one person. That was the guy from Reftelis who does the appraisal. He explained how he did the appraisal. And but the EPCOR, who has deep pockets, has been bringing in expert after expert after expert.
And in a battle of the experts, it's not the kind of trial you want to be in. I've seen a lot of these types of trials. I've never seen one where the two sides have been so far apart in the valuation. I do not envy the judge having to make a decision and try to come up with what the, quote, fair valuation is.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that he's able to determine that. I think it'll probably fall somewhere in the middle between the 55 and the 130-ish, because generally neither side gets exactly what they want. But hopefully this is an issue that the judge can rule on, can get resolved, and we can move forward from it.
Yeah, Judge Gertler's been in this community for a long time. He's fair. He's tough, for sure. I think that whatever comes out of it, I'm sure that I don't know that either side would be able to dispute it. The thing that was interesting to me is back in the paper today, this expert, Mr. Riley, Robert Riley, he's a managing director at Willamette Management Consultants. He testified the entire day, and during cross, he admitted that he did limited due diligence to verify EPCOR's numbers and projections without, quote, without independent verification or confirmation. He also said that he relied on data provided by EPCOR management to perform those tasks. So, I mean, you can take that for what it's worth. The thing that concerned me is that we several times, and the biggest one that stuck out for me is that I was in a conference with Sean Bradford, the VP for EPCOR at the time. I don't know if he still is. And he had said that EPCOR absolutely was not going to go after consolidation. That they put it up on their billboards in town saying that there will be our pledge to you, no consolidation. And then as soon as it failed, the first rate case that came up, they asked for consolidation. 4 out of the 5 proposals they put up were for different kinds of consolidation. But so I don't know that plays in here. I just know that what they have said versus what is true fact, sometimes those two are quite a ways apart from each other. So we'll see what happens with that. Judge Gertler, like I said, is a pretty fair guy, and hopefully he will come up with he'll be able to weed through the nonsense and come up with a fair price.
One would hope, and that's what generally happens in these instances. Neither side's probably going to be ecstatic, but both sides will, probably walk away and accept it.
They'll both be unhappy.
That's normally what happens.
That's the way it works, yeah.
Yeah.
Larry, did you have any questions about the court ruling that you wanted to discuss, or anything that you needed to that you wanted us to elaborate a little bit more on? I was part of the H2O committee that worked on this a couple of years ago, trying to get it done. So I have a little bit of insight into it, so I might be able to handle things. You got anything up there, Jeff?
No. Not on YouTube as of now.
Okay. Let's go back a day to yesterday's paper, Warm Sea to Close Childbirth Services. This is a story that we had about what is going to be happening with the obstetrical
Yes.
and newborn services. It's too big of a word for me. I had my second COVID shot yesterday, so I'm a little out of it today. obstetrical and newborn services wing. So they're not going to be delivering babies out there at Warm C anymore. One of the things that I thought was shocking in here is that they said there are 8 hospitals in the state that delivered less than 600 babies last year, and 4 of them are in Mojave County.
That was a bit of a surprise.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Obviously, there aren't going to be a lot of children in the coming years in Mojave County.
And that's what they talked about here. Why they decided to do this: aging population, a 30% drop in tri-state births. And the cost to keep that one section open.
Yeah.
So what they've decided to do, what Mike Sanger, the CEO over there, has said, is that they are going to be increasing some of their services. Is that a good word to use?
Services is a good word, yes.
For the aging population. I'm trying to find what he had said here.
And I think, like any other business, hospitals have to continually evaluate and see what the highest and best use of the limited funds that they have are. So, if they've looked at it and decided, it's going to be better to put the dollars in this area as opposed to that one, that's a decision that gets made in countless businesses every single day.
Every day, yeah, and that's kind of, people have been asking me about the school board thing and the decision there, and that's what I fall back on, is that in the end you have to look at what makes sense. So what he cited here was Warm C not doing it, Valley View will, so it should increase business down at Valley View,
Right.
And at the same time they can, according to him, continue applying our resources to enhance and expand the clinical services that are increasingly needed by our aging population. I feel attacked there with the aging population thing.
We are part of the aging population, John.
By our aging population, such as orthopedic surgery, spine surgery, vascular surgery, podiatric surgery, and cardiac services. So apparently that is the plan, is that they are going to continue to recruit new doctors for that area, those areas, and pass the childbirth stuff down to Valley View.
Well, and hopefully by passing that down, there's going to be, enough people going there for that service where that's going to be able to continue, because you'd hate to lose it at all the hospitals in the area and then have to go.
Yeah.
To Las Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, and Jeff, you've been here a while, right? Was that?
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago that people, to have their babies, had to travel up to Kingman.
Yeah, it was.
Or down
It
to
was.
Havasu.
Yeah, that was true. They didn't have a
So,
baby addition here at the hospital.
so hopefully that we don't. Hopefully we don't get to that point. We have this. Yesterday was also our time for the Laughlin Times. So we have a story about Sisolak eyes June 1st for Nevada to reopen 100%. One of the things that I was questioned about yesterday was, does that mean no masks and all that stuff? The mask mandate still stays in place. What he's talking about strictly is the limits that he had. At one point it was 25%. I think it's been 50% recently, right? I think that's what it was at up until May 1st or June 1st has been 50%. So I think yeah. I think that's the deal, is that they're going to increase it from 50 to 100%. However, mask mandate still stays in place, so, and social distancing. So
What about the clubs?
Jeff wants to know about the clubs. Of course he does.
Well, not just me. There's a lot of people that want to go out dancing. Trust me.
I think that the clubs the first time they open, they're going to be packed. So
There's probably going to be a line around the block.
and Jeff will be first
Ah, come on. Second.
with your boy over there, right? I don't know. We're waiting to hear if it's really up to the casinos. I mean, the casinos are. Here's the issue with this, is that even though the governor says this, right, it all comes down, for the casinos, it all comes down to the gaming board. Mm-hmm. The gaming board is the one that can say, all right, shut her down. You guys violated this or whatever. So if the gaming, Teresa Gonzalez now. She chimed in. Indeed, we want to know about the clubs. It sounds like Teresa will be first. You'll be second.
I'll go with that.
Okay.
And I think as we continue to approach some semblance of normalcy, and as more people are vaccinated, and as we continue to flatten the curve, and we will be able to, hopefully these groups that make the decisions will look at the science and will allow us to congregate again and go out dancing, and as Jeff was doing off screen here, raise the roof a little.
Yeah, he's raising the roof.
Yeah.
Well, the story says that on April 5th, they opened it to all Nevadans 16 and older for vaccines. And right now, about 40% of those 16 and over have been vaccinated or started the process anyway, and about a quarter of all Nevadans.
Is that a word?
You know I'm not local, so I'm
It's
not
gotta
going to
be-
be able to help you with this one.
It's got to be
just wondered.
Nevadans, right?
Yeah.
Because Nevadaans would be
Because
just
Arizona's,
Arizona's.
Nevada's, I mean, kind of, yeah.
Anyway, a quarter are fully vaccinated. But talking about the vaccine, and I didn't mention this yesterday morning, but there is a mobile vaccine clinic coming to Laughlin May 1st through the 3rd. The Laughlin Chamber of Commerce is hosting it. Clinic times are 7 to 3 on the 1st, 12 noon till 7 p.m. on the 2nd, and 12 noon to 7 p.m. on May 3rd. You do have to register in advance, free of charge, obviously. The Chamber Volunteers in Partnership, the VIPs, blue shirts, will be out there helping. For more information, you can call 702-298-2214, extension 0, or visit NV, Nevada, covid-fighter.org. Did you see this, Jeff? Edgewater Casino Resort introducing 2 new dining concepts.
I'm sure you did.
I talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, all the food.
Food, I do have a problem with food, huh?
You have a seafood problem. You see food, you
I
eat
want to
it.
eat it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. What do you think?
I'm going to try it. I like new places.
I
I'm going to
suppose
definitely
that
try
is.
it.
I don't think you can have too many steakhouse
restaurants.
options. Yeah, there's always going to be a demand for good steak.
So we got 2 options here. You have PT's Express, which is burgers and pizza.
Which you can't go wrong with because those are 2 of the 4 major food groups.
Thank you. Yes.
He's right.
Yes.
And the Hickory Pit Steakhouse has been rebranded to become Stockman Steakhouse. So we got some quotes in here from Sean Hammond, but that stuff looks pretty good. Like the steak looks awesome. I'm trying to figure. That looks like some
Mike,
sort
can
of
you
shellfish,
elbow
right?
him? He gets carried away with food. You got to elbow him.
Stuck in food land.
Those might be some oysters on the half shell.
That's what it looks like, right?
He gets distracted real fast with food. I'm sorry, guys.
I just don't know if
It's
they-
just the way he.
That's how I
It's
am.
how
I
he
just-
rolls.
I don't know if it's open yet because all it says is this month. Well, we
Yeah,
only
I'm
got
not
like-
sure. That was little confusing as well, I thought.
We only got like 10 days left in this month, so I don't know if it's open. I want to go back to Monday's paper. We had a story, if you haven't, or Sunday's paper. If you haven't seen Sunday's paper, we have a story in here on Anthony Martinez. Anthony is a local business owner here. He owns, I think it's called One Stop. Is that right? He owns an air conditioning company here, and I'm stalling as I try and find it.
We're not going to mention that you wrote that story.
Okay, you talk about me throwing you in wrenches.
Sorry about that, John.
I think it's
It
called
happens. It happens.
One Stop.
You,
Anyway,
you
he's
might as
a-
well go with the first thing you said because it's probably right.
Yeah,
One
that's what I'll
Stop.
go with. One Stop.
All right. One stop AC.
So he is going to One Source.
One source.
One
Okay.
Source
It
Heating
was
and
close.
Cooling.
Okay.
Whoa, it's so close. One Source Heating and Cooling, but he was a veteran, and it's a long story of how he ended up in the Army, and then how he had suffered a devastating loss of his best friend on Anthony's birthday. His best friend was Jason Morales, and he lost him on his birthday. And you really have to read the story, but basically, in the end, it's just amazing how this guy who suffered dealing with this, and the family of Jason Morales, how they suffered dealing with it, how they ended up meeting each other, I guess.
It's a very compelling story, and I think it really brings home, what our service members and our vets who have seen action go through and what they have to deal with, when they do come home. And the fact that these two families were able to get together and help each other through that healing process is just amazing, because it was sheer coincidence that they bumped into one another.
Yeah, 100%. The family was in California, could have moved anywhere. They moved out here. They had a problem with their air conditioning. Could have called anybody.
Anybody.
The way the story ends with him being there, he could have easily gone home and not gone over to see if they needed a hand. There's just a bunch of things in there that just could have happened that I think we call it divine intervention. I don't know how you would describe it as anything else. But yeah, you're right. He is somebody that's very open with what happened.
Yeah.
My father was in Vietnam, and he would not discuss what happened. And I think most veterans would rather just, in my experience as a veteran, I think most veterans would rather just go, I got it, I'm good, I'll deal with it. And sometimes it results in poor decisions. So, Jeff, we got somebody that says, what is the big burn over by the Avi?
I saw that. Well, the one that was there the other day was a controlled burn, and that was put out, I think, overnight. It burnt overnight.
Yeah.
That put out a lot of smoke. I don't know if you guys saw that morning. There was a lot of smoke.
It's wet area, yeah.
Right. But this one that's happening right now that he's talking about, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It could be part of the controlled burn
Right,
as well. I don't know.
There's a lot of brush down there, and this is about the time of year where they start clearing that all out with that. It wasn't your guy with the
No.
guy from yesterday?
Not,
Okay.
we took that away from him.
If we covered on the Daily Dose this morning, there was a guy that was apparently doing some work at his house, and I don't know, coincidentally, a small fire started. The Bullhead PD showed up and put it out. We don't know if it was related to that, but there was a
That was the house,
propane
right?
torch.
That's the house. You can see. I showed the picture, and you can see the torch there on the left-hand side. We don't know if that's how it started, but it was a coincidence kind of being there. So that's all.
Yeah. He probably moved that out of the garage so there wouldn't be a fire.
Well,
If
that
the
could
fire
be
spread
there.
to-
Yeah,
certainly don't want your propane tank and
don't
your
want
weed
that
burner
blowing up.
all
That's
day,
right.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He says it was a couple days now. It's really big. Yeah, so that's got to be a controlled burn. We'll check into it, Lance, and see what's going on once we get done here, and see if there's any news there. All right, we're going to, if there's nothing else, Jeff.
No, it looks like we're good.
Okay, Mike, anything you want to discuss before we get off of here?
I'm good. We can wrap it up for the day.
Come on out
let's
to
wrap it up.
the Mayhem.
Yeah, we're going to. We're actually going to be announcing our finalists for the Aces tomorrow morning. It'll be in the paper. We're also going to film a little, ceremonial opening.
Yep.
For Valley Voices, and we will have that posted tomorrow morning as well. So when we get done here, Jeff is going to check into the fire. We're going to start getting set up for our Valley Voices video, and we will make the announcement in the morning about the Findlay Athletic, Community, and Education Stars. It's our way of recognizing the students and organizations and teachers and school organizations and community organizations. We got 10 different awards.
All of
That'll
our
be on May
local
7th.
stars.
Yeah,
That's how
all
we
of our
want it.
stars,
All of our
yeah.
stars. And
Yeah. Anytime you see a student in this, they probably are up for this award. So, all right. Anything else?
Nothing from me.
how about
John.
some Harley noise?
You've got Harley noise?
There you go. Go check out Mayhem. It's just up the street from us. They got their club is getting open here in a little while. They got vendors up there.
Riverview Mall through Sunday, right?
Riverview Mall, yes, through Sunday. Go check them out. See
See you
everyone.
guys tomorrow.